Welcome back guys to my GTA Online Countdown series. In today's episode I'm going to be going over the must-own vehicles for PvP combat in GTA Online. So this list will basically include the 10 most overpowered vehicles in the game that can be used against other players in free roam lobbies. If you guys do enjoy this series, please take a few seconds to leave it a like and subscribe if you are new. It really helps support this series, and let's get right into this. Up first at the number 10 spot is the Thruster, also known as the Jetpack. Now this thing is awesome at PvP for a few reasons. First of all, as it's classed as a personal vehicle, so it can be delivered right to you. The Thruster can also be equipped with miniguns or missile launchers. I'd recommend sticking with the missile launchers. And it's probably most effective against players or vehicles on the ground. Now there are a few drawbacks to the Thruster, which is why it's so low in this countdown. First of all, the handling is a little bit tricky. It's more of an advanced PvP vehicle that you kind of need to master, but once you master this thing, the very quick maneuvering makes this thing very, very powerful against ground targets. You're also limited on the amount of missiles that you carry. I believe the Thruster can only carry 30 missiles in total, so it's not like you can just spam these things all day. And as you can see, the Thruster is non-armoured, so one homing missile will be enough to take you out. However, you can make use of the countermeasures the Thruster has, and also use that Thruster to perform evasive manoeuvres to get out the way of rockets. At the number 9 spot is the LF-22 STARLING, and this is actually a very underrated vehicle, and the reason being is that this vehicle is also very difficult to master. But if you do ever go up against a skilled STARLING pilot, you're going to know it's one of the best dogfighting planes in GTA Online. The STARLING is only a one-seater vehicle, but it is equipped with machine guns, missiles, lock-on missiles, as well as a bomb bay where you can drop a variety of different bomb types. And of course you can equip this thing with countermeasures. The best thing about the STARLING is its insane rocket boost. You can upgrade this with an additional 200k, and it is worth every penny for the upgrade. The rocket boost gives the STARLING a very kind of unpredictable acceleration pattern, making you quite difficult to target for any other aircraft. Once you use the Thruster, it's going to slowly replenish, but what you want to do is kind of use it sparingly during most flights, and it's best to actually keep it for quick escapes or to get out of sticky situations, because other aircraft in the sky are going to just simply struggle to keep up with you when you use that boost. The STARLING does also come with a bit of a price tag, actually the exact same price tag as the Thruster, so 3.65 million on the normal price and the 2.75 million as a trade price. Next up is the Insurgent Pickup Custom. Now this vehicle does require some bunker research for many of the best upgrades. The ones I'd recommend getting are the heavy armor plating and the proximity mines that you can drop to destroy anyone chasing you. And of course the upgrade from a machine gun to an epic 50 cal minigun on top. The gunner can also be upgraded to have more protection in that gunner seat. So if you have a friend or a crew member that can hop in that gunner seat, this thing is going to be very powerful. The Insurgent Pickup Custom is actually my go-to vehicle in a lot of free roam sessions, just because of its resilience to explosions. So it's actually going to take 9 sticky bombs to blow this thing up. So even enemy buzzards, deluxos or jets that are trying to shoot you down, they won't actually be able to blow you up very easily, and you have a good chance of actually making an escape in this thing. You can purchase the Insurgent Pickup from Warstock Cash and Carry for 1.7 million or 1.35 million if you complete the Humane Labs raid heist, and also an additional 200k to convert this vehicle at a vehicle workshop into the custom variant. At the number 7 spot is the Half Track. Now the Half Track also does require some research in your bunker to unlock the proximity mines and also the autocannon. If you're using the stock version of this vehicle, it has 2 different machine guns, but the upgraded version has quad machine guns, so that's 4 machine guns of firepower on this thing. The gunner in this vehicle is also pretty well protected with the size of the turret shields, and if you get the armoured plating upgrade, the driver will also be protected as the front window will be bulletproof. This thing is also extremely resilient to explosions, and it will apparently take 27 homing launchers to blow this thing up. Up next is the Akula, that comes with a variety of different weapons that can be equipped, including bombs, missiles, miniguns operated by the pilot, and a minigun turret that can be operated by the co-pilot. The missiles on the Akula can be used as barrage or homing missiles. Personally I prefer the homing missiles as they have no refill time. The best part about the Akula has to be the stealth mode, which depending what type of player you are in the game can be used offensively or defensively. What stealth mode basically does is it takes your blimp and anyone else in the vehicle completely off the minimap, and you can make an easy escape or even sneak up on people inside of your lobby. While in stealth mode, all of your weapons are going to be disabled, so you will actually need to exit stealth mode to actually target anyone. The drawback for the Akula is it is vulnerable to explosions, as it does not have countermeasures. However, if you do upgrade the Akula to its maximum armor upgrades, it will actually take 18 heavy sniper rounds to explode this thing, so it can take quite a bit of punishment. At the number 5 spot is the legendary Hunter. So this attack helicopter can be equipped with bombs, countermeasures, and an explosive turret. The Hunter can also either use a missile barrage or homing missiles that have no refill time, similar to the Akula. You'll usually see good Hunter pilots actually switching between the barrage and the lock-on missiles when they're using this thing, because when they're used together it can be a very competitive air vehicle to own. The barrage can be particularly good at taking out targets on the ground, and the homing missiles are best used at taking out jets. If you have a friend to ride with you in the gunner's seat, the explosive chain gun on the Hunter just makes this thing absolutely devastating. At the number 4 spot is the Hydra. I'm including the Hydra in this countdown due to its price. Obviously the laser can also be very effective if you're willing to pay almost double for pretty much the same thing. But both the Hydra and the laser have explosive cannons, making them some of the best combat vehicles in GTA Online today. As the pilot, you can switch between the lock-on missiles, non-lock-on missiles, and the explosive cannon. These jets are very effective when they're used against ground targets, because you can basically dive bomb people with those explosive cannons. If you own a hangar in GTA Online, you can also customize the colour of the Hydra, as well as transfer it into a personal aircraft rather than a Pegasus vehicle. Next up is the Savage, which is actually a whole lot of firepower for the price of this thing. So the Savage comes with an explosive cannon and missiles. The missiles can continuously spam, so the lock-on missiles have no reload cooldown, which makes this thing very powerful. We also have the explosive cannon that's very effective on ground targets, as the helicopter can just easily hover above ground targets, whereas the Hydra or the laser that also has explosive cannons, they'll actually need to do bomb runs. So if the Hydra or the laser misses those ground targets, they're going to have to come back around and do another flyby or another bombing run. Whereas in the Savage, you can kind of just hover over people and use those devastating explosive cannons. As for armor, the Savage can survive one homing missile, and it's going to take 2 homing launchers to destroy this thing. At the number 2 spot is the Avenger. Now this is not only a very useful vehicle to own in GTA Online, you get the weapon workshop and the vehicle workshop, but it also is an extremely powerful aircraft. In total it can carry 5 other players, so you have the pilot, a passenger, and 3 different gunners. As well as those turrets, you can also upgrade the Avenger with bombs and countermeasures. The main weakness for the Avenger would be other aircraft such as jets, as the Avenger can be a bit of a big target and it also has a blind spot above, so if there's other jets above it can be kind of difficult to target them. But the Avenger is very heavily armoured, and it's going to take around 16 missiles to destroy this thing. The Avenger has a base cost of 3.45 million, but can go up to 4.7 million if you're getting all the upgrades. And that leaves me with the number 1 must-own vehicle for PvP in GTA Online, and it just has to go to the Oppressor MK2. This is a very powerful vehicle, and very easy to use as well, so it's very kind of noob friendly. The Oppressor has countermeasures and weapons including the explosive MG or homing missiles. The homing missiles have to be the best option for the Oppressor, and they're just extremely effective against ground targets. The main weakness for the Oppressor has to be the lack of armor, so just one explosive will actually destroy you on this thing. Unlike with the original Oppressor, it's actually a lot harder to fall off the new Oppressor. Even crashing straight into walls or poles, you're still actually going to stay on this thing. Whereas the previous Oppressor, you know, if you hit anything, you just go flying off and probably die. So that was my top 10 must-own PvP vehicles in GTA Online. Let me know down in the comments what vehicle you guys like the best for using against other players in GTA 5. As always, if you guys are new around here, please take a second to subscribe and also leave a like on the video. It really helps support this series. I'll also have the last few episodes linked on screen if you missed my last few top 10s. Have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Flipping cars, I did the scene. Flipping heist, yeah, with the team. You know me, got the antidote. I spit it sick up in Los Santos. Dodging missiles, dodging bullets. Coming